in order to make this transom for this boat, I gotta make it double thick. So I gotta put 2 sheets of plywood together. So I took and made my measurements. It's going to be wider than 48 inches and deeper than 16. So I made 2 blanks at 48 by 18, and I'll lay it out and cut it out of that piece right there. So here we go. I'm putting it together. I'm doing the fiberglass right there. You'll see me screw it all down. Now I got 2 sheets of wood together, screwed down. I screwed my screws in at about 3 to 4 inches apart. I went and put it up so it would dry because it looked like it might rain. Now I went over here and started working on the inside of the boat. There you see me sanding with an orbital sander. Take all the paint off the back of the boat.
Alright, to make a pattern, what you gonna do?
Alright, here we go.
You're gonna have a square edge here. And that goes down against the bottom corner of your boat. Okay. Then you take a pencil or a Sharpie. You take and put that against the wall of your boat. And you pull it up. Just like I'm doing here. When you get to them big gaps, skip it. See here? Now, just fill in the gap. Cut that out. See? Then cut that out and it'll fit. I started with a square piece of cardboard. This end here was straight. I laid it down on the bottom of the boat flat. Okay, then I started marking it up. Mark a little bit, then go back and cut it. Just scoot it into place and cut it some more. Mark it, cut it some more until you get the whole thing cut out. Then you come over here, you measure between this point and this other point. You divide it in half, you make a mark. All right. Then you do the same thing on the bottom. Then you take that should be a straight line straight down here to the bottom. That's the center of your boat. Should be the very center of your boat. Okay. Then you measure over from your center mark to the edge. This edge over here. Take that measurement. You make a measurement on your... I'll show you how to transfer it when we get over there. How about that?
Alright, once you get your center line of your boat marked out, measure from your center line over to the edge of the top of the boat, and then go over to your blank. And actually you want to take and mark the center of your blank, and then work from the center, measure over. This one was 19 3/8 from each side, so I measured over 19 3/8, made me a mark. Then I took and laid my pattern in there and marked it out along the edge. Then flipped my pattern over, did the other side, and then I took a skill saw because I wanted square edges, and I cut it out. And where I couldn't make the turn with the skill saw because it does have different angles, I just cut all the way through and transfer my screws over. Have a screw 1 inch away from the edge all the way around this boat, about 2 to 3 inches apart. All right, this is the last side of the transom that needs to be sealed with fiberglass. I did this side and the edges, I guess a couple days ago. Anyway, I got about, I don't know, about a half a cup of fiberglass here. I'm gonna mix this pretty stout because I want it to dry fast. I'm gonna use what little bit of hardener I've got left. That's it. I'm gonna chunk that. Got a stick here for mixing. Just a plain old stick come out of the tree. Okay, so we know this is gonna flash pretty fast. So I'm gonna pour it and brush. Yeah, it's getting tacky now. Don't want it too thick. You just want to cover everything. Everything gets a good seal. Make sure you get that knot really good. We ain't looking for pretty. We're just looking for a good cover. We'll go ahead and go over these edges one more time while I got it here. All right. Let that dry.
Hey, if you guys haven't thought about it lately, if you get a chance, you see my shirt, and go somewhere and donate blood if you can. There's a lot of people out there that need it. There are a lot of people going through cancer treatments, COVID-19, automobile wrecks, you name it. It's happening out there. It ain't no different than it was 2 years ago. We still need to get out and give blood, plasma, whatever you got to give. Don't do it for the money. Go do it for the glory of God, and make somebody's life a better life. All right, I'm gonna cut you guys loose for a few minutes. We're gonna go over and start cleaning this boat up, get it ready to accept this transom. We ain't trying to sand all the paint off of it. We're just getting a hard calcium off of it. From old water line, dirt, and everything else. It's pretty clean that way. My silicone will stick to both the edge of the transom and this boat. That way, the least amount of water can get in there to the transom. That wooden transom that we just built. I know you're trying to figure out why I'm doing this. And sometimes I ask myself why I work in this industry. I just love working in this industry. Somebody told me a long time ago that if you work at a job that you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Well, that's full of corn. Because work is work. I don't care if you're working on something you love or not. After a certain period of time, you don't love that stuff no more. You know, up next is our gator glide. And I just want to tell you guys that we are going to be installing gator glide on the bottom of this boat. We're going to do a base coat with black, and then we're going to come back with an olive OD green and do the bottom of it complete over the top of the black. The reason I'm doing the black on the bottom with OD green on the top is because, first of all, I want the hull to be green. The camouflage color. When you say black, it's a camouflage color. Yes, it is. But if you do black, solid black base coat, and then you come over the top of that base coat with the green, you'll be able to see where you've painted, where you got any thin spots, any thick spots, anything like that on your initial coat. Your initial coat is where it all matters. And you want to make sure you get that first coat on kind of thin, get your second coat on, and it builds to your first coat, your third coat builds to your second coat, can't count right now, and then your fourth coat sticks to your third, and so on. They say that you're supposed to have a minimum of 5 coats on it, and that's going to go next. And then I'm pretty sure that after we get the bottom done, we're going to go over and pick up a gravity feed paint gun, and then we're going to wash and clean this boat inside and out. We're going to spray it down with a dark green base coat, and then we're going to come over the top of it. And I can't tell you for sure whether we're going to do a final graphic camouflage job or if I'm going to paint a camouflage job. I'm going to look into both of them over the next week, and I'm going to make a decision because, you know, this boat is ultimately built to sell.
and I want it to look as good and as brand new as possible. That way when we sell it, the customer will say, man, look, I mean, this boat's a 1969 model boat, but look at it, it looks brand spanking new. And that's the effect I'm looking for, because there's a lot of people out there right now that are looking for new boats, and frankly, you just can't find new boats in this size. You can, but they're just plain Jane boats. They're not fixed up, they're not rigged out with trolling motors and duck lines and everything, and you got to go through the whole mess with a brand new boat. So at this point right here, they'll be buying a brand new, fully rigged duck boat that can be have the duck lines easily taken off and carried out and bass fished out of. I think you guys are y'all are in for a good time with this video series that we're doing right now. We're gonna kind of move away from doing videos on ATVs right now to focus on the boat.
I got off-ride, so you can take it. Look at the one one time. So we make the effective off-ride on my lane.
I think the last time this boat was actually tagged before I got the title, and I tagged this boat was in 2004, somewhere along there. And I bought this boat in 2009, and it was sitting upside down at a in a state sale. I ain't told you how much I paid for it. But it was a rather steel, and it had been sitting in a pond, or sitting on the edge of a pond, and used to fish out of the pond for about 10 years. So when I got it home, I knew exactly what I found. I was next to the pond, and let's get out there and go bass fishing in the pond. And so I used it for that. I had a little trolling motor, put it on the back of it, just ease around fishing in a little pond. And little old boat, it don't hold, I mean, it don't leak. I used to leave it sitting in the pond for weeks at a time, and the only time you get any water in it was when it rained. So it's good boat. In fact, I need to measure, get me a new plug to go in. When we move, we lost the plug. Nobody in town had any acetone, so I'm going to use this goof off in place of acetone. It's basically acetone. I can't see where it says acetone on it. It smells like acetone. Do not smoke while you're doing these. It'd be a bad idea. Sometimes when you're using products like this, you get a little tipsy and you don't even realize it. It happened to me one time. I was building a deck in a boat. I was cleaning all the plywood with acetone, and before I put the carpet on it, and I was doing a lot of carpet work that day, and I'd been breathing in fumes off that glue and off that acetone, and I allowed myself to get just a little intoxicated. And being a smoker, I decided it was time for me to have a cigarette while I was wiping that piece of plywood down with acetone, so it would accept the glue. You know, being in a hurry, being at work and everything, I didn't want to take the time to walk outside and smoke a cigarette. It was perfectly fine for us to smoke in the shop. So I fired it up, was sitting there smoking, opened up a can of acetone, poured it out on that plywood, and started wiping it down. And all of a sudden it flashed right there in front of me. It did not burn me. I was very fortunate. It set everything that I was working on fire. The board, luckily I didn't have carpet glue down on it. But it definitely set that on fire. And it did not damage it. I was quick. I had a big thick blanket that I threw over the top of it real fast. But I was amazed at how it picked up the spark off that cigarette. Nothing else with gasoline won't anymore. But it picked up the spark off that cigarette and flashed right there in my face. And had fire. Kind of worried me at first because, I mean, talking about a $5 or $10 million building with at least that much inventory in it. At least that much inventory in it. And there I am with a flame up inside of. If that had burned down, it would have been my fault. So be careful. I mean, you not only risk bodily injury for yourself, but other people's property. So just be sure don't use cigarettes or any kind of flammable stuff when you're working with this kind of stuff. We're doing the bottom of the boat, the edges, the corners, anywhere that the silicone is going to stick or needs to stick. That's what I'm pointing. But the way I see it, the only way we're going to preserve our way of lifestyle, gasoline engines, hunting, fishing, ATVs, anything like that, we're going to have to take care of it on our own. We're going to have to keep this old stuff alive because there's certain factions within the United States and the world that wants to see this stuff go to an end. You know, the latest one was William Shatner. You know, I'm a tree hugger. To a certain extent, I hate to see a big old nice beautiful tree get cut out. But in the same breath of air, we got to build our houses out of something. We can't build them out of plastic. The Lord in the Bible says that the man who builds a home out of straw is a fool. You gotta have lumber to build a house. You know, and after the lumber, you gotta put that brick on it. I know you say, man, you sure use a lot of paper towels. Well, when I get done with them, I'll put these paper towels in my truck and use them to soak up oil if I have a spill. I spill stuff all the time. They won't go to waste. All right. I'm gonna have to go to the big town, the big box store, and find this mask on. I started on the bottom of this boat. It's gonna go. It's gonna go fast. We're gonna need it. All right, I'm gonna pick y'all up when we're gonna put this transom in the boat later.
All right, guys, we're getting ready to put this transom in place. I see it is changing colors over there now, it's sitting in the sun, and fiberglass is changing colors, so it is just about ready to handle. So I just wanted to come to you and talk to you about this clear silicone and my caulking gun that I'm going to use. Now, this is 100% silicone. It's clear, made by Red Devil. It's used for doors, windows, skylights, gutters, and boats. Yeah, we're going to use it for boats. Alright. It says the joint movement plus or minus 25%. So I do believe that we should have no joint movement. So there should be no, there's going to be a little bit of flex in there, but there shouldn't be enough flex in there to make a difference. Application temperature 10 degrees Fahrenheit to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. We got that covered. It's probably about 70, I don't know, 72 degrees. I hadn't checked the weather today. Service temperature, which is where it's going to be located, what kind of work it's going to be doing, is negative 60 degrees Fahrenheit to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So for you European guys, that's negative 51 degrees Celsius to 149 degrees Celsius. That's pretty doggone cold and pretty doggone hot. So it's got a full cure time of 24 hours. Cleans up with mineral spirits. We're going to use Goof Off. So there we go. It says for emergencies involving a human or animal within the United States, please call 1-800-535-3053.
If you're calling from outside the United States, please call 1-352-323-3500. This service is available 24 hours per day, 365 days per year. Alright. This stuff adheres to aluminum, ceramic tile, glass, porcelain, fiberglass, vinyl, and plastics. We're covered. We're covered. Directions: remove old caulking silicone, because this silicone will not adhere to itself or to other sealants. Clean and dry the surface. Clip off tip of the spout. Now let me find where I was at. Clip off tip of spout at a 45-degree angle and puncture the inner seal. There's a seal inside there. Alright. Load cartridge into caulking gun and apply in a well-ventilated area. Don't do this inside. Smooth caulking using a Red Devil caulk smoother or a putty knife. Clean up with mineral spirits before cure. After cure, remove excess with razor blades. Avoid undercutting the seal. Coverage: expect one cartridge to caulk 50 square feet when the bead is 3/16 of an inch. So we're going to be doing about twice that size will be in the first run, because we want it to stick to the sides, to this, and we want it to stick to the bottom. We want to squish it in there, and anything that squirts out gets smoothed down around the edges, and then we'll caulk an edge around it. Now I'm going to use gloves, that way I won't have to clean up my hands, and because I'm going to be using my fingertip. I don't use a squeegee or anything else. I use my fingertip to get a good glide and to get a good bead on that silicone. I did houses for years, and that's exactly what I used on houses. And silicone works much in the same way as caulk does. You don't get a whole lot of chances with it. You don't want to mess up. Make you glide from one corner to the next, all in one glide. You'll have a real nice, pretty bead to look at. Now, it says here, for best results, sealant is not paintable. Paint before applied. Not recommended for use on aquariums or concrete surfaces. Not recommended for underwater applications. Now, does that count on this boat? Well, we're not applying it underwater, so it's a good sealant for what it is going to go for. Now, if we was applying it to a hole in the bottom of this boat, and we were trying to use it under the water while it was in the water, that wouldn't be acceptable. But if we were applying this to a hole in the boat and it was fixable and you had 24 hours to wait on it, you could apply this to a hole in the boat and get yourself out of a jam that way. But otherwise, I would recommend brazing with aluminum rod and a heat gun. We'll get into that later. Now, since it's got a limited warranty, if you're not satisfied with the product performance when used as directed, return container to Red Devil Incorporated for product replacement. The manufacturer's and seller's liability is limited to replacement of product. Specification: meets or exceeds federal specs TTS-00230C Class A, TTS-001453A Class A, Mill spec Mill-A 46106A, ASTM C 920-02. The content is 3% weight, more than 40 grams per liter. I guess that's what that means. All right. So it says it forms a watertight, resistant seal. It's got excellent adhesive, permanently flexible, will not crack, shrink, or peel. Now that cracking, shrinking, or peeling is very important, and it says it can be used interior or exterior. So you use this around your toilet, you can use this around just about anything. It says windows, doors, skylights, and gutters. And it's 9 fluid ounces, or 290 milliliters in this little tube. All right, with all that being done, that's taken care of. I can't read the French part of it, so there you go. You guys in France need to read that for yourselves. It says this is made in the USA by the Red Devil Incorporated, Pryor, Oklahoma 74361, or www.reddevil.com. Thank you, Red Devil. Let's see if we can't get a little help out of them. No, they're not a sponsor of this video. Maybe they'd like to, but as of right now, they're not. Now, here we go with our caulking gun. It's real simple. You got a thumb indent here. You got a spout cutter here on the side here. See the hole? You stick your spout in there, and you use the handle to cut it off with. Won't do it right now because this right here. Now it'll close all the way and it'll cut that spout off. You got a prong here to reach in and pop the seal on the interior seal. You pull this all the way out, just like so. You stick your sealant in there and you cut it off. You want to cut it off at a 45-degree angle, just like that. Then you'll take this right here. I'm not going to puncture this because I ain't ready to use it yet. And you reach in there and you break that seal. You wall it around for a bigger hole. Put that back in place. Then you take and slide this little puppy in here. Give it a pump, 2 pumps, and you'll feel it. It'll tighten up against there. You roll it around to where your bead will do just like from where you're at, your 45-degree bead. And then when you get ready, you squeeze this tube and it'll shoot your silicone out here. And as it's going, it'll form a bead, and it won't puddle, it won't run, it won't do nothing. You want to get it to where to go in your crack. Okay, at this point, I'm just going to be putting it on a flat surface. One going up and down, one going this way, and then I'm going to put me a bead or 2 in here like this, so with a sandwich in there. And whenever we get the transom in place, all these holes that accept bolts, we'll get a squirt of silicone in them and around the washer, and then we'll tap the bolt and the washer through from the outside and tighten it up, and it will leave a bead of silicone around the washer, the nut, and it will silicone, it'll seal those holes inside that plywood. So with all that being said, I'm gonna bring y'all back when we start this little project, and there won't be no instructions and no nothing involved there. But I was fixing to leave out one thing. Once you get this tight and you're shooting a line of silicone, once you get to the end of that line of silicone, you pop that loose right there. It relieves the pressure on your tube, thus cutting the flow off. Okay. it gets kind of messy sometimes. So you want to make sure you got plenty of paper towels. Wear gloves, because the only thing to cut this is some kind of solvent like paint thinner or acetone along that lines. And so with all that being said, I'll bring you back in just a little while when the transom gets through drying and we start applying this thing. All right.
Alright. Set the bottom up. Phew, boy, it smells. Oh. Did too? No way. I guess I didn't charge it, but. I don't want to twist them bolts into using that. It's kind of dangerous. There, now this puppy's in place. I got 4 more bolts that I'm gonna have to get put in there. I broke some yesterday, and so I broke 3 yesterday. That's actually, yeah, I broke 4 or 2. I broke 2 and I'm missing 2. Anyway, that's gonna get it. That gets it sucked down. So we got a spot right here that needs to be pulled down. One right here that needs to be pulled down. I need to give me a few love taps right here. There we go. All that silicone squishy squish. And then we'll go around the edges, shoot a bead in there, and basically I'll be done with this transom. Now, whenever we go to install the engine, we are going to put a plate in here to help reinforce this plywood. We're going to have a lot of torque on this buddy. It's going to be a badass engine. This is going to be an awesome boat. So, get one of them little screws. Besides, whenever we come back, after your silicone is cured, these go in here like so. They'll help hold the transom to the boat. It's a brace. Let's get started putting this bead of silicone in here. Getting these gaps filled up. Oh, that smell. It smells like vinegar, but it's more pungent than vinegar. this time tomorrow evening, this right here be ready. Looks like the missus has some company over there. All right, hey. Transom is installed. Probably could have done this in one day if I'd had a little help. Whereas, let's see, well, yeah, I spent about a half a day Friday on it, and half a day today. Well, a couple hours today. But it's installed. All it's got to do is dry. Put the caps on here, the 45 caps. We're going to have to buy a piece of aluminum to go over the top of this. But I'm sure we'll do that about the same time we buy that piece of plate that'll allow that engine to go in there. Yes, we're going to paint this. We're going to sand and go right over the top of this here silicone and this fiberglass that we put on here. And we'll be good to go, man. This is going to be a good solid transom. This is going to be more like in the duck hunter's world, this is going to be a speedboat. So, guys, if you're interested in this boat, give me a call and we'll set up a sale on it. If not, don't worry about it. If you want me to build you one like this, give me a call. I will. I'll be more than happy to. My number is 936-222-0936. If you're looking for me on the web, you can find me at www.lonestarmobilemechanic.com. You can shoot me an email from my web page. You can see me on YouTube. You can see me on Facebook. And but hey, man, we'll get you hooked up. It's costly, but hey, it's all. A lot of these old boats are built better than the boats that they build today. Got it done. I'm out of here.